What's up, everybody? This is Colin Young with Knotfest. It is Easter weekend. I'm celebrating my Easter weekend at church. Drug church.
Very clever.
Pat Kindlon, everybody.
Nailed that one. Hi, everyone. There's 3 cameras, so if you're going to notice some confusion on my end, but thank you for having me.
Oh, my God. Thank you so much for being with me today. What's going on?
The very end of a productive tour. Now, you had a different music experience than I did.
Oh, boy, did I.
You made money.
Oh,
not
debatable.
Much. No.
I was going to ask, what are you pulling in this year after taxes?
I'm not going to paint it like you made money, but I'm going to paint it like you made a little bit of money.
I've bought like a guitar.
Okay, yes, okay. But you did that younger and earlier than me.
Pure happenstance, brother. I was not the... Here's the thing. We're going to get into the history of you and I,
all right.
But you right now are in this stage where, you're this confrontational rock bad boy.
Oh,
You're leading the charge of confrontational, aggressive rock and roll.
Can we agree that if I'm confrontational or aggressive, that speaks to something wrong with the ecosystem?
But I think what it is unlike most people, you are from an era and a place where you kind of have to not be afraid to get beat up. And that's what separates you from the big guy who's confrontational and aggressive. You know?
Okay. For those of you at home, I don't want to get tested in every shithole town I go to, so I'm not claiming to be tough at all. However, I will say that you're probably right about that there is it wasn't that going to shows as a kid. There was some expectation that I don't want to say you would get hurt. That sounds like too...
But there's a separation, like the fear of consequence, is 90% of the battle. Once you accept, if I fuck up and I get smacked around, I'm fine.
Well, so I got used to that at a relatively young age because I talk too much, right?
You too?
Yeah, so you get yourself in trouble when you talk too much, and somebody's going to take exception to what you say, and they're going to threaten you. And then you have that learning experience. If you're lucky, if you're not murdered, but if you are, you learn something from that, right? From if I continue to talk like this, I'm going to continue to get hit in the side of my head, and eventually I'm going to hit the pavement.
Exactly. I was 13, 14 as a kid on message boards. So it's crazy that worse things didn't happen to me. But,
yes. Also crazy that. We can appear on camera and haven't been run out of society because I will say there's people I still encounter rarely, but because we're all getting older, but people who know me from being a shithead online 20 years ago.
20 years? Come on.
And
3.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. But there's people that know me from that. And, I wouldn't strike somebody over something they said online now. Right.
It's so funny that this conversation is going there, and it's like the next question is like, your new album's on Pure Noise Records. And it's like, yeah, I got fucked up growing up.
No. And again, I don't. Every time that I'm not going to use any names.
Sure.
I saw a band who you and I are both aware of, who are not hard people, and they said something hard online, and all I could think was, guys with their area code tattooed above their eye might want to test you on
Absolutely.
This. You know what I mean? So I don't want to give off that energy. I've never been hard, but I am in.
You're musically confrontational though. You're not. It comes.
We can do all that.
There's a degree of fear that is absent from you, for better or for worse.
All right, yeah, I'll say that. But you know what that is? How many times have you say? You are more of a perfectionist than I am. You're more of a natural talent than I am.
It ain't natural, brother.
You're on those PEDs?
I'll be working. Well, no.
So what I'm saying is I've failed so many times that it is I don't even think about, like the biggest stages we've ever played, let's say festivals in Europe where you're playing in front of a large volume of human beings. I've gone out when was the last time you felt stage fright?
I feel it with less people. Like if I'm in Warsaw,
oh, interesting,
and I'm like a piece of meat on stage and not like a human being, that's when I'm it's nervous. Okay. But if there's 1,000 people, I'm like, this is gonna be sick.
Yeah. So same thing. I haven't felt stage fright. I don't know, since a long time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, I guess that if I have any reputation for being confrontational or whatever any of that is, it's just because there's zero fear of failure. I haven't seen a good photograph of myself in a decade.
I think you look great. You're gonna watch this video and you're gonna be like, "Oh my god, my structure is unbelievable. My bones."
On stage though.
Oh, well, that's different. We're sweating.
I think it's now a game among photographers to find the worst possible moment that somebody could film.
You're
with.
speaking my language now.
So, like, so what I'm saying is, there's not the type of ego that might exist in like a 23-year-old that's like feeling puffed up because they're on stage, but there's also some fear that goes into that. Admittedly, I'm way past all that.
I know you are.
What I mean, so yeah, I guess in that respect, if that's
I am too.
if
I'm
that
working
counts.
for Slipknot.com, baby.
Shout out to the Knot.
Yeah. So, as my other question was going to be, new record, Pure Noise, Hygiene.
Yes.
You're killing it. You got the moving picture on Apple Music and everything. That blew my fucking mind. I was like, oh my God, Pat won.
Is
finally.
that, you mean like the thing that goes across like
that
this?
album art moves.
Oh, I don't know.
There's
anything
a
about
little
that.
move, like the eye or something. Something moves on the art.
Oh,
Like that's some Oasis shit.
All right,
like
I'll
they
take
got that, and you got it too.
Shout out to Apple Music.
Yeah,
Now.
so that's
I didn't know about that.
good for Pat. Good for Pure Noise. What's the relationship like there?
I was a bit agitated with it. I don't think I'm going to tell tales out of school because we're all good at relationship. But when we started talking to them, I felt I didn't necessarily like their approach, which kind of was a take it or leave it sort of. I didn't feel wooed. I didn't feel loved, you know. But in fairness, we have members who have a pre-existing relationship with them, so maybe it's a bit like myself.
We don't have to woo you.
Yeah, like
you know what we're capable of.
you either take it or, hey, we'll all be friends after this. You can take it or leave it, whatever. But I was the holdout on our contract. I refused to sign it.
What a shock.
And, like our guitarist is like laying in bed depressed for 2 days because he's like, Patrick is fucking us. Because I was like, I don't like the vibe. You know what I mean? Like things
you
like
almost fumbled the bag for the whole band.
Well, here's what I got to say. And this is not ass kissing because I'm now at the juncture in my life where I hope as long as what I'm saying is true that people can't be too mad. You know what I mean? So like I usually say things with a delicate truth and hope that nobody's mad. I'm not mad at Pure Noise. They've done right by us.
That's a good way to put it.
Okay, so
you got the moving pic on Apple Music, dude.
I can't be mad.
Come on.
Can't be mad. Well, okay, so here's a question. And this might be too granular.
Sure.
You tell me. We can go in a different direction. You've known a lot of bands in your life.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
How many of them
have the moving pic on Apple Music? None.
That's a good question. No. How many, if they succeed, believe that they could have done it regardless of all other factors, / those that fail who believe that there is somebody to blame? And what I mean by this is we had a boom in popularity around the time that Pure Noise got behind us. Is it possible that we started writing better songs or were better on stage? That's all possible, right? But on some level, I think you have to be a dumb person to not make connections and obviously some assumptions, but things that sometimes aren't quantifiable literally, you have every reason to believe, right? So I don't believe that. I think we were a good band before Pure Noise. So I have to imagine that Pure Noise has something to do with the fact that people are more aware of us now. So
that's usually how it works,
right?
If you build it, they will come.
And
boy, are they coming!
But you've been on labels.
I've been there.
Do you resent any of them?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Come on. I'm human flesh and blood.
But I'm saying I broadly I don't I always think, I'm a little bit further along than I was, and again, you are a more talented person than I am.
Come on, man.
But here's the thing.
You've heard what I've done.
There's some duds. But here's what I'm saying is that nobody bats 1,000.
Oh, come on.
But what I'm suggesting is, those, even if something gets me forward by inches, I'm still grateful for the inches because I've seen some good bands that nobody has heard of or pays attention to.
You're from upstate New York. That's what happens there.
Yeah, there's a lot goes to die.
Yeah.
So, or dies in the crib, I guess you could say. A lot of those.
Or just 20 years later, like Dying Breed becomes this mystical act.
Which is very funny. But,
yeah.
But so anyway, this is all to say, pretty happy with Pure Noise. It was a circuitous way to get there, but I think we were right.
No, I was with you 100% of the way. Do you remember the first conversation we ever had? Because I do.
Where were we?
New Jersey.
No, I do not.
Okay, so this was Twitching Tongue's first U.S. tour. We played the show. You enjoyed it.
Okay.
But I was wearing shorts. You didn't like that.
Why did
you didn't think the shorts fit?
Let me ask you a question. Why did I feel comfortable enough telling you what to wear?
I'm telling you, this is who you are. The absence of fear. You came right up and you were like, "Listen, man, that was pretty good, but the shorts got to go." And I was like, "Dude, it's like 100.
You know what?
It's humid."
I
never wore shorts again in my life.
Well, listen, I was right in that case, but but here's the thing. I gotta monitor myself because I got a sense of humor that doesn't always hit.
I thought it was hilarious.
I know, but
I wore black jeans for 8 years after that.
A mutual friend of ours, I made a comment about his looks to him, not behind his back, to him. I didn't realize that I was putting the seed of, is that true? In the back of his head, where he eventually thought about killing me for a long time because he was like, "Why'd you make me think about this? Now I got this thing that," and then I had to, when he confronted me about it 3 years later, I had to say, I don't even remember saying that because it's not true. I was obviously joking.
I mean, let me tell you something. I know for a fact that Elizabeth Feiner doesn't remember telling me that I smell funny in 6th grade, but
you remember.
Pepperidge Farms remembers. These things stick with you.
Yeah. So I got to be more. I got to be more. I gotta be more sensitive.
You're doing great. This was great. Let me ask you this: is there a singular Drug Church song you recommend to the Knotfest audience?
Oh, yeah, okay. So on the current record, Hygiene, I was afraid, and this is a big topic. I was afraid that they were going to give me too many soft songs.
It's shockingly aggressive.
Not as aggressive as I would like.
But like I didn't know what to expect sonically, and the fact that there was like a crumb of again confrontation, I was very pleased.
So, I've maintained for years that it's really difficult to age in small room aggressive music, whatever we want to call it, like whether it's hardcore. Small room metal, big room metal, you can become ancient. You can become a skeleton.
Just a Cro-Magnon corpse,
desiccated, disgusting.
And they love you.
They love you. However, in small room guitar music, which is what I play, very difficult to age gracefully. I wanted, and I still want a very aggressive record from Drug Church because I feel like I have a window where I will look okay playing that. And then after that window, I will sadly concede and say, I guess I've got to play something a little bit more low key. I guess I got to play something because I look ridiculous.
But I think like you fit with what you're doing, you know? You're not one of these dudes playing Youth Crew still.
No, that's fine. But yes, I agree with all that, but like heavy, okay. I'm a big fan of Sick of It All. Sick of It All still looks good on a stage. That's very rare air. Because I'm not putting their business in the street. Not young dudes, strictly speaking, right? So to play...
But Mohawk guy is doing squats and push-ups at home.
Oh, yeah. Pete has been... He's looked the same, basically, since I saw them many years ago. Yes, he's staying on himself. Some of the guys in music stay on themselves, but you can't rely on a full band to stay on themselves, right? Somebody's always going to be.
You can't rely on a full band to stay in the band.
That's a fact. That's a fact. But point is, Sick of It All would be an exception. Most of the bands that we would like from a certain world look pretty spent playing aggressive music. And you kind of think, hey, you're talented fellas. Maybe a pivot to country would be called for now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Lucero, go the Lucero route.
please, please.
Post Lucero.
Yeah, do like a rock, and you rock a little bit, but
I'm almost there.
you got no. You know what? You look like you've been working on your fitness. You've got like
you just have to surrender every other obligation in your life.
Sure.
And and just spend too much time. It's vapid, dude. It's a vapid world.
But you could play small room metal or big room metal with this body.
Thanks, man.
You know what I mean? That's pretty good.
Thanks.
But
we'll see. We'll see which rooms want me.
But here's the point. Let me get back to it, which is that I wanted a heavy record. The fellas delivered a record that was only, it was heavy in parts, right? That said, to the Knotfest listening audience, I would say that song World Impact from the new record it's got that choppy sort of, it's a choppy rhythm that you could either bounce to, you could nod your head to if you're in your car, or I suppose you could aggressively pit to.
Hey,
so
now we're talking. Now you're cooking with peanut oil.
I would say that would be, that's one I would suggest.
All right.
And if you go back in our history, you can find all sorts of stuff that is aggressive. But I want a more aggressive record. But they're like, these guys are listening to Everclear in the vehicle. You know what I
really?
mean? Like I'm scared for the future.
I don't know what it's like. They put that one on.
They're deep cuts, and so it's Everclear and the Pretenders all day. And I'm like, oh, this next record is gonna be tough on me because I can't.
Hooks only.
For those
no
of you,
verses, just hooks.
Yeah, I'm gonna give a spoiler. For those of you that are not familiar with Drug Church at all, music wise, and this is your first exposure, I can't sing. On the record, I can sing a little because I can do 25 takes of something, and they can be comped into something that's somewhat capable. Live, don't expect that from me.
You're really speaking my language.
I mean, listen. Oh well, yeah. You are the.
Oh yeah, you fucking suck.
No. You were in my memory an early recipient of the nobody knowing how to process your vocals. So people that don't like you or you're doing too good right now, they've got something in the chamber for you. You know what I mean? which is, what the fuck are these vocals? My favorite was your brother, who I believe engineered the record, or one of the records. He was telling me about, this is some behind the scenes
inside,
a criticism that you guys had received that you were out of tune, right? That you were off key. Now, there's nobody that would know better than the person who was standing over you, saying, "No, do it again." Right?
Till you're on.
Right. So, for him to read this thing from somebody who almost certainly was not a musical mind, right? Like somebody who just your presentation, the style that you sing in, just doesn't appeal to that person. So they say, "Oh, that's off key," right? How maddening it must be to know that you're in key, because
they make me go back and go, like, are they right? You know?
But this is not up for debate. There is a key. You know what I mean? Like
there's something.
There's
there.
notes
it's
to which
key.
Yes, there's notes to which, like, it's not a debate.
Yeah.
Like with me, it's not a debate going the other way. I'm never in key. You know what I mean? But you, at least on recording,
you're making it works. You know.
Well, I'm not fishing, but the
how are you catching?
The point is, you are in key. Some people just hate what you do.
You heard it here, folks. I'm in key, but people hate what I do.
And that's a valid criticism, saying I hate this man.
Yeah,
I hate his face.
I get that.
100%. Happens to the best
I
of
see
us.
it every day. It's horrible.
Yes. Hate this man's face. Hate the way he presents to the world.
Yeah.
I wish him ill will.
You sound like my wife.
But it doesn't mean that we got to manufacture reasons like
Sure.
he's off key.
Yeah, I'm
You
in
know,
key. I'm really good.
You don't got to make it.
Pat, this was wonderful.
Oh, we're done already.
We're done already. That was it. This was the first one. So
I hope it went well, and I hope it lived up to Knotfest expectations.
I would say it exceeded them.
Oh, very good.
Thanks for coming on.
Colin, thank you.
Signing off for Knotfest, I'm Colin Young. Good night, everybody.